forefront of our production meeting to know the intricacies of the Jackson State signing class right now. But when you pull it up and you look at how much wiggle room there is, we're going to show a live shot right now. I'm just going to pause that. I'm going to stop mid-sentence. That is Travis Hunter. That's the actual cat we're talking about right now. Going to go live. When he starts speaking, we will go live to that. There it is, holding up. That's not a camera. It's just a cell phone. So we're going to stay on this shot so we don't miss anything. But Steve Wiltfong, we were talking about the generational talent here. It's what I'm trying to not let get lost on the audience, because sometimes you mention elite recruiting prospect and you say, oh, well, there are 50 or 100 of those out there. There's only one of that guy right there. He's different. There's a reason why we have him #1 in the country, and now that's the name that we're waiting on. That's the story we're waiting on. And I did not think we would be sitting here watching a live Travis Hunter video feed at 12:09 p.m., but man, here we are. This is, I don't know if you remember anything like this. I certainly don't.
He's just such a natural football player. 19 interceptions to go with those 43 career touchdown receptions. And when you look at the no-brainers in this class, he is the first one you think of as this guy is going to be a great college football player. And there was talk of he'll go both ways at Florida State. I mean, I think at Jackson State, he's got it. I mean, he's going to go wild in that league, I think, right away.
Can I tell you, one of the reasons I am not a current FBS head coach, one, not only reason, but one of them is I could not have my fate in the hands of this announcement and just watch Travis Hunter laugh. But yet, here we go. I believe we're going live now. Let's roll to him.
Travis Hunter, but I got a lot to say right now. I mean, I'm really speechless, but I do got a lot to say. I appreciate all my teammates for helping me get to where I'm at. I appreciate y'all for just pushing me every day and showing that y'all following my footsteps and wishing me to be great. I thank all the coaches, especially Coach Fontaine, for taking me in as a freshman. Since day one, he seen something in me that nobody else seen. Just always coming to pick me and make sure I had somewhere to eat, make sure I had somewhere to stay every night. Because when I first got up there, I really ain't had no friends. I really just came up there and just thought football, no schoolwork, no nothing. And I really thank Dr. Chuck and Ms. Williams for actually helping me and looking out for me in my classes, really pushing me to get my grades up. And I want to thank Coach Bearfield. I just always trusting in the whole team and trusting me to be the leader of this class. I want to thank Coach Dante, Coach Warfare. I want to thank all the coaches just for really pushing me and pushing me to be the great and be who I am today. That being said, I got to be honest with you. Everybody know I'm committed to Florida State, but this is a real big too, but that ain't my choice.
Yeah.
This is a real big too, but I'm going to say that for later. I like this one. It fit me well, but that ain't who I want to be. I always been on my mind. But check me out, Mom. Throw me that hat. Appreciate Deion for giving me this opportunity. This is a lifetime opportunity. I'm out.
So there you go, Travis Hunter, official now. That's as official gets. He's got the full garb on. Probably the most impressive part of this is the way he put that jacket on, by the way, completely over the head, both arms at the same time. Credit our friends at 11alivenews.com for providing us the feed there. So this has the entire recruiting world turned upside down. We just saw him make it official. Steve Wiltfong, your initial thoughts?
I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome for HBCUs. I think it's awesome for that stage of football. You're seeing great head coaches hired in that league, guys with great credibility. Eddie George over there not far from you at Tennessee State. And to get Travis Hunter to commit to Jackson State and go play in that league. I'm interested to see what this does for prospects in the 2023 class and 2024, because Travis Hunter is a guy that a lot of these younger players, just 1 year younger, 2 years younger, look up to. And when they're at a camp where Travis Hunter is competing, they're stopping and watching him. guys that are playing against him in 7-on-7 games are almost forgetting that they're playing in a game. They're watching this young man do his thing. And I think this is just an incredible story. I think it's pretty awesome that he's going to Jackson State. And I just wonder if we're going to see some Jackson State football on national television next year a little bit more.
Well, here's what I want everyone to do. If you're watching here, I want you to look at the logos here. I mean, one of those logos was not like the other. We're looking at the prospect profile here for Travis Hunter, and we're showing up Jackson State logos, and we're showing that next to Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia, and LSU. And it's kind of a new day here. I don't know how long it took us to even refresh the graphic there. I mean, that's not just a drag and drop. We got to go search for that one in the J's somewhere. So Deion Sanders was credited there. Obviously, Travis Hunter talked about it. There are so many layers to this. And you're kind of hesitant to talk about it, Andrew, because you want to get definitives. You want to get specific numbers. There is a strong NIL factor that kind of surrounds this. We just talked to Bryant McFadden a little while ago on the ground there in Tallahassee, and he was very quick to accurately point out, yes, this is a huge day for HBCUs, but it's a Jackson State Deion Sanders specific big day because there are elements in play there that maybe you couldn't pull off just any old where. And so it's very, very interesting now. This is huge for Travis Hunter. It's huge for Jackson State. But if we're talking about the HBCU angle here, Steve was talking about this now, and I'm very curious to get your thoughts on it. Is this an impact over the entire HBCU landscape, or is it always going to have to be a specialized case of big-time head coach, big-time NIL deal, and it's just kind of a package that comes together?
I think we're going to wait and see on that, right? I think this is the biggest story in the recruiting world probably ever, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. This is huge. This is the biggest flip ever. I looked it up when Florida State started 0-3. Had someone ever signed with a school that's under 0-3? And then, no one had. Only one sub 500 guy. Just look at the video. I mean, he's throwing the hats right now. So this is huge. Like I said, big. I think it's the story of modern recruiting.
Yeah, Tully, if we could stay with the video, I think we took it the whole way. Listen, no one else is going to watch this. I got an eye that spots different things. I'm telling you guys, aside from just the impact overall, the way he puts this jacket on takes some talent. I'm telling you, when you put both of the sleeves out and then you throw it over, it's not easy to do. That's all I'm telling you. It's not easy to do. Okay, so right now, you've got a lot of kids in the 2023 class and the 24 class. They're watching this right now. I cannot imagine how different the conversation is tomorrow as opposed to what it was 24 hours ago when it comes to their future.
Well, we're going to see Jackson State's logo in pretty much every top 5, top 3, top 12 moving forward. That's what the kids like to do. Jackson State is now the hot school. I'm down here in South Florida. Kids go out on the road on bus tours. Is Jackson State now a must stop? Do you go to Alabama, Jackson State, Georgia, something like? My geography is probably all messed up, but yeah, kids. Steve mentioned it. I mentioned. I mean, you look it up there again.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Wild. All right, so we're going to obviously work around the table here a whole lot because Steve Wilfong's got a lot to say too. But Josh Newberg back from Knowles 24/7. So Josh, it feels like a lot's happened since I spoke to you, like 15 minutes ago. So now it's official. We got Travis Hunter no longer a part of that Florida State signing class. He is headed to Jackson State. Your initial reaction based on what you just watched?
We all witnessed something historic. I know I got on here and I said it about 15 minutes ago, but it just happened. I mean, Ivans was talking about it. The names that you guys were, it doesn't compare to this. What just happened is historic. We've never seen it.
Hey, Josh, let me hold you there for just a second. We're going to come back to you. Let's toss to Travis Hunter talking live.
It's just built over time, pretty much.
And just talk about playing for Deion Sanders, what that experience, what you're looking forward to, how is that going to be for you, and how is the conversations, how have they gone between you two recently?
I'm pretty good. I'm just ready to work. That's pretty much it. I'm just ready to go ahead and go and get the Jackson Mississippi.
Ah, baby, signing day, live signing day, love it. So back to Josh Newberg here. Josh, you were continuing just the overall impact of this. I mean, you mentioned the word huge. That word is going to be used so much today. It's accurate. Continue on the thought there.
Not only for Florida State, but for college football in general, I think this is big because this show, we talk so much about NIL, about the haves and the have-nots and how the perennial powers like Alabama and Ohio State and some of these top tier programs are going to be the ones that collect all the 5-star talent because of this NIL money. Well, I think that argument just went out the window. I know Deion Sanders has a different kind of relationship and has the Barstool money backing him, but maybe we see other corporations get behind head coaches in the same fashion. And maybe this is something that levels the playing field where everybody can get involved. I don't know what this means, but I think we're going to be talking about today in this recruitment for years to come.
Yeah, it's a seminal moment in recruiting. It's very interesting. We were talking about the way to build a college football playoff team, the construction model. It may be that we are having revealed to us in real time the HBCU modern day construction model. And it may be a lot different than we thought it was, like we said, just this time last week. But take me back now on the ground at Florida State, Josh. We were talking in general terms, maybe theoretical terms a second ago. Now it's official. What is the mood? What's the feedback you're getting from Florida State?
Oh, it's not, I've been getting hit up by former players. I mean, I just got a text message from Chris Winkie, former Heisman candidate. He's watching what's going on. This is front and center, not just in the Florida State world, but I think the entire recruiting world right now.
This is kind of a generic question. Where does Florida State go from here? And is that a fair question? I mean, was this signing class that reliant on one player? I mean, did they like where they are regardless? And what's the overall mood around, Mike Norvell in this program after this season?
Yeah, we're reacting to the number one player in America, 5-star Travis Hunter, who's been committed to Florida State for almost a year. So yeah, we're reacting to this. We're not necessarily reacting to the whole class. Florida State has a great group of offensive linemen coming in. They got some pieces. Sam McCall comes in out of Lake Gibson, a borderline 5-star player as well that could have an impact in his freshman season. So the signing day class is not shot. But when you talk about a team that was progressing from 3 wins to 5 wins this season, you were hoping to get a shot in the arm and really make that jump with a player like a Travis Hunter and prove to the future 5-stars that this is a place that 5-stars want to come. You just made that a little harder. I don't know what FSU can actually do from here to replace a Travis Hunter. There's nothing you can necessarily do. I think Mike Norvell needs to get ahead of this. He needs to get out in front of this. I'm sure he'll be speaking at the recruiting media access today. So we'll just have to see what happens and what his response to all this was. It'll be really interesting to see.
Hey, last one here, Josh, and you can take this wherever you want to. It's not lost on anyone. This is a former Seminole that is now leading Jackson State, and it's a noteworthy name in Deion Sanders. How do people around Tallahassee feel about Deion Sanders in general? I know there are always whispers. Could the future of our program and Deion Sanders, could that kind of intersect down the road? What's the overall mood towards Deion today?
I think it varies from, I told you so, we should have hired him, to, can we take his statue down? I think FSU fans are anywhere on that spectrum right now. Props to Deion, first of all, for getting this done, right? I mean, Deion Sanders is the reason this got done. Need to give him props. We talk about NIL, but also Deion Sanders needs some respect on this one. To flip Travis Hunter is just an unbelievable move today.
All right, Josh Newberg at Florida State, man. I did not think this was going to be the center of the college football world, but it absolutely is. Josh Newberg joining us twice already. We appreciate it, brother. Get back to it. I know you know what I mean by it. Get back to it. Okay, so we reset the scene here for those who are just tuning in, and we've seen a massive influx of traffic if the monitor in front of me is any indication. We entered the day. Travis Hunter, Steve, we mentioned him once, and he wasn't even really going to be on our radar. He's the number 1 player in the country. And we expected him to sign with Florida State, and there really wasn't going to be much to do about anything there. And then we got word about an hour and a half ago, it feels like real time now, that there was something happening. And there may have been buzz, according to Josh Newberg, as early as this morning, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. And now we sit here 3 or 4 hours into early signing day, and Travis Hunter does not have a Florida State logo next to his name. This is the number 1 player in the country, folks, a generational talent, committing and signing with Jackson State and Deion Sanders. It is a historic day in the annals of college football. It's certainly one of, if not the biggest days in the history of signing day, college football recruiting. So Steve, I know you continue to get updates over there on the phone. I mean, what's the latest? What are people saying?
Well, this is the biggest signing day moment in the history of college football. And before you have a trend, you have to have a trend setter. And Travis Hunter is potentially setting a trend now for more young men like him to go to these historically black colleges. And we have quite a few guys that aren't going to put pen to paper in this early signing period. And if I'm Deion Sanders and that coaching staff now, who else can we go get? Who else can we go recruit? Can we go recruit Trevante Citizen, a running back in Louisiana that's not signing? Can we go recruit Shamar Stewart, a defensive lineman in South Florida who's not signing? And then in the future, can we go recruit these blue chippers in 2023? I'm sending out offers to guys that we think are elite on the board. I'm evaluating these blue chippers now in 2023 and extending scholarships to them because I think this is a potentially trend-setting moment in college football. Travis Hunter has the following to spark a potential movement here. And, hopefully with this, we'll start seeing facilities and things like that upgrade at these schools, which makes it even more advantageous for a young man to play in that league as opposed to the traditional powerhouse leagues.
Let me give you an idea of how big this day has been so far and how historic it's been as we go to break. We have talked Jackson State football more than Alabama and Texas A&M combined. That, if it doesn't sum up for you, nothing else will. So we'll go to break here. We'll roll the video again of what we have just all witnessed together, and that is Travis Hunter, not to Florida State, not to Georgia, not to anywhere else other than Jackson State. We're going to reset the entire team rankings top 10 for you on the other side. Stay with us. It is early signing day.